Welcome everybody. I just wanted to do a little video to talk about AEB shooting in camera and how I edit the workflow in Lightroom. So why shoot AEB, which is called auto exposure bracketing? Basically, what you do is you get your camera like so, and then you go ahead and change the settings to either 3 shots or 5 shots or whatever. AEB allows you to shoot at different exposures, and all the files that you shoot are raw files. So what you can do afterwards is merge them in Lightroom and create one image that is going to have a lot more dynamic range than, let's say, like a flat image. So I think the best way to do this is for me to show you, and let me show you exactly how I edit as well. So let's go to Lightroom and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we are in Lightroom, and this is I went out this afternoon and I got this pretty basic pictures, but there's a couple that really stood out to me. So I'm going to walk you through my workflow. There's this one, and as you can see, this was a series of 3 pictures. Now the first one was shot as 1/40 f7.1 ISO 100, then 1/100, again aperture f.1 ISO 100, and then the last one is 1/15 f7.1 ISO 100. This is called AEB. So the camera shoots a small burst of 3 images, and then when you go to Lightroom, you're going to see them like so in front of you. And what you can do, the very first step that you're going to do is select all 3 of them, and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to select photo merge HDR. So now it creates an HDR preview, as you can see right here, and you have a much better image with dynamic range. It's still raw, you can still edit it, and you still have all the beautiful colors and contrast and whatnot. So when you get to that point, you go to merge, and then up here you're going to see Lightroom is creating HDR, and right down here is our finished image. So on to editing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you guys all my presets. I have 2 preset packs. I think Richard wanted the black and white one. So one is the Yanni preset 1 and Yanni preset 2, which is about, I don't know, maybe 20 presets. You guys can do as you wish. But I'm going to also talk to you about how I create a preset, because each preset that I use, it's a great starting point to go somewhere else, to jump off. So it's a fantastic way, and it helps you out to it helps a lot with your flow. So if you have a landscape image and you have a landscape scene and you have maybe 50 images, a preset is a great starting point to start and then fine tweak it. So back into the image. As you can see, Lightroom has already made some changes for us. I'm going to bring the highlights down, a little bit of the shadows up. I've gotten to the habit of bringing my contrast down and then my blacks down. I think that creates a little bit more dramatic. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit more appropriate. Make sure it's all level and constrained as well. So boom, that's the new image. This is great. It's blown out a little bit back here. So maybe bring the whites down. Bring up the dehaze, a little bit of the texture, a little bit of the clarity. I like a lot of vibrant colors, so I'm going to do plus 15, plus 22, plus 15. Now, zoom in. See, this is the beauty of actually working with an HDR. If you do it right, look at the clarity. Look at the definition of what you're able to get. Plus, this is golden hour, so I'm going to fine tweak the colors a little bit. So going down here, I'm going to increase my blues, the saturation, my oranges, my reds, my yellows, and I'm going to go to luminance and get me even more vibrant blues. Color grading is something that you need to get into, because this is a fantastic way. It's a fantastic way to actually give a whole new vibe to your image. Look, I'm going to color grade this, nice and red, make it a little even more vibrant. See, you can completely change the tone and the vibe of an image. You can cool it, you can make it hotter. You can actually, change exactly the tone, and you can work it. You can make it out exactly what you want it to be. So that's why color grading is great. And I'm going to go down, increase my noise reduction a little bit, because every time you modify your image, you generally introduce noise to it. And I'm going to make sure that the lens profiles are all good. Going back in, I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I can usually take an extra step and select the sky in Lightroom and maybe mess with it a little bit more, make it a little bit more dramatic. Lightroom is taking its sweet time here. There we go. Introduce a little bit more dehaze, a little bit more texture. Saturate it a little bit more. Looks pretty spot on. Now, we're going to go to the secret. I'm going to go ahead and export this image as, let's call it boat one. And you see I'm exporting as a TIFF file. So where is it at? I think down here, you want the image format to be TIFF. You can, of course, finish in Lightroom, but I'm going to show you why I like to introduce it and dump it in Luminar and how much it helps my workflow. So I'm going to go ahead and export it, and it's going to dump it down here on a place that you can't see on the desktop. So now it's exported, and we're going to go ahead and open it with Luminar. So you should be able to see my Luminar screen right now. Luminar is another software. I like it to even bring it in Luminar, because even just by bringing it in, as you can see, Lightroom already did my my watermark over there. But anyway, Luminar cleans it up completely. See, makes it even sharper, eliminates a lot more noise. And I have another preset right here for landscapes and for portraits, and boom. So we're going to go ahead and export it again. Luminar and whatnot. And now this is, let's see if we, this is what the final image looks like. How cool is that, right? So this is a very basic way on how I do my workflow. Going back into Lightroom, on the left side of the screen, we have all the presets. Now, all the stuff that we created right here, by pressing the plus sign, you can just create a preset. But let's see how this image looks with some presets that I've created. This is the image in black and white, one of the new presets that I created that I'm really digging. Charlie too. Charlie's great for people. Cloudy day, cold weather. See how it completely changes the feel and the vibe of an image. Ellie's M&Ms. Fall drone. This is for the drone foliage during the fall. Fantastic way to do it. Forest morning. King Midas. Moody winter. Skittles. Snow. Willy Wonka, and you have so many new presets that you can play with. You have so many cool things, But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and link my presets below, and if you guys have any questions, feel free. Thank you so much.